Hi, welcome to part 2 of the LTS podcast. Remember, these podcasts are posted, the audio version at least, are posted every Tuesday of the week, unless otherwise told. And there's a video portion of this podcast that is on YouTube. So if you'd like to follow that one, follow the links in the description. So, see you then. Marcos out.
Hey, this is Life Tech and Sundry. Join Alan, Marcos, and Josue, the hosts of LTS. Follow us at LT Sundry on Twitter, LTS.pod on Instagram, Life Tech and Sundry on YouTube, and all your favorite podcast distribution services. Stay frosty.
It really puts you in a different mood. Like sometimes the song is like really upbeat and uplifting, and it makes you want to hurry up. Sometimes it has you like chill and relaxed because you're not trying to rush making like really poor or unedible types of food, right? You want it to be like really delicious. And sometimes the music puts you in a mood where it's like, nah, you need to put a lot more loving into that food.
You're like, hello, is it me? And you're just slowly just kneading the dough, no?
Yeah.
You're just prepping the dough, putting it in the oven.
Gingerly putting the turkey into the panini press with the sandwich, right?
You just firmly with your gloved hand just press it and just put it in. There you go.
Lovingly smashing potatoes, yes.
As you take off your gloves, you just wipe your hands, your forehead with your forearm, and then you go to wash your hands, and then you do you're just listening to the music. What am I like? And people just look at you like, what is he doing? He's in his zone.
Imagine listening to some nice hard rock or heavy metal while you're like smashing that dough down, or like Marco said, listening to "Hello, is it me?" like while you're kneading the dough. Just slowly, in a very sentimental manner, in a personal way. This is, for all those people are gonna eat today. Gonna eat good. They're gonna eat good today.
No, definitely. Like you're at the grill station and you're grilling up some chicken or whatever the case is, right? And they'll have, I don't know, like some Michael Jackson or something, or they'll have some bachata or something, or they'll have like some
watching me.
some reggae or something. So it's really interesting.
I feel like whenever you're first starting the shift, you have to put the rock while somebody's watching me, because the boss is close. Like, and the boss like, yes, you already know.
Boss is
Don't
here.
mess up.
Yeah.
Don't mess up.
True.
Yeah.
And then towards closing, I'm still standing.
Right.
Yes, I'm still standing.
Towards closing.
Yeah. If I could add something in here, I feel like there's kind of two angles at this.
What?
Two personal angles that I personally take. So music in the workplace, yes, I know that's what we're talking about. I agree with everything you guys are saying. Music makes the day go by faster, puts you in a better mood. But what kind of like contradicts that is, let's say music while studying. Like I can't study while I'm listening to music. I would get distracted way too easily. Like I have to study while it's quiet. You know what I mean?
Like a library.
Well, yeah, or library, or even still in my dorm room, but no music. You know what I mean? So I know it's like completely off topic. It's just funny how it's like when I work, like actually
that works. Yeah.
Right, but it's like when I do physical work, like working, like with you in the store, Marcos, or even if I'm doing like some woodworking with my grandpa or helping him out,
or going to the concert on the road.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like doing physical things, I like having music, on. But if I actually had to use my brain, not that I'm gonna use my brain to do the other tasks, but if I actually have to use my brain to like comprehend things and like pay attention to detail, well then I can't listen to music at the same time while I'm doing that. If that kind of makes sense. It's like one or the other. But no, I mean, that was kind of like a side note, but no, definitely music in the workplace makes the day go by faster. It's more exciting. I mean, just think about it. If me and you didn't start talking about music, we probably just would have been talking about other stuff. Like music kind of, well, I think it kind of connected us more, which led us to talk about microphones. And now we're actually on the podcast.
I feel comfortable to tell you I have a podcast. That should tell you.
I know,
enough.
but exactly. Like we started talking about music, the microphones, and you're like, oh, by the way, I have a podcast. I'm like, oh, you do? And we started talking about equipment.
I have a band.
Yeah, I have a band. You remember the day when you brought the test microphones into work, and we were like at the lunch table and we were like checking microphones. You had like earpieces in our ears while we were like in between bites of our sandwiches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry to interject in that also, Alan. You don't have to say the name of the place of the deli, Jake. But
yeah,
Jake's his home. Near his home, there's like some awesome sandwiches.
A wonderful deli by my house. It's really good.
I scared his grandpa one time with the sandwich that I ordered.
Well, what did you order? It has me curious now.
just a small order. My favorite thing to order, like from tomatoes.
Tomatoes?
Don't be tomatoes. Yeah. The don't be chicken. You know the.
Tomatoes? The chicken cutlet sandwich that you always go for.
Just just the basic,
It's a big sandwich though.
It's like the 4x4.
It's a big sandwich.
Jake is over here like Jake's grandpa's like, is it gonna feed a family of 4?
He's like, look at that big chicken cutlet wedge. And we're all there. And I'm like, what should I say? Or
Jake's like,
It's for friends.
It's for a friend.
And I forgot what like in some egg and cheese, I think, right on the roll.
Oh yeah.
You ordered 2 sandwiches now?
No, for Ed.
No.
One was for Ed. For Jake,
Ed.
my boss, our boss, and Jake ordered his sandwich was roast beef.
Yeah, I got roast beef provolone.
Nice.
On a roll. I also got lettuce and oil and vinegar on there too. Because I'm not really a big mayo guy. I'm not really a huge mayo guy. So
What about mustard or salt, pepper?
Oh, those are good too. Yeah, those are good. Yeah, I like. Sometimes I'll get like a nice ham and cheese with some mustard. That's always good.
Okay. Yeah.
But
do you do the what's it called, the spicy peppers or roasted red peppers or like pickles?
I say occasionally I'll have the roasted red peppers. Yeah,
Nice.
those are good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, now this brings me up to my next question.
No, but that when I brought that order, when I told that, like, who put the order, your mom or your granddad for that? Jake.
Well, no. So I think it was my mom put it in, but somehow he must have found out. To this day, I really still don't know how he found out about our lunch order. I must have told him once, like after work, like, oh, I got
A sandwich.
Well, yeah, I was like, oh, like today was my turn to bring in lunch, and he's like, oh, well, what'd you get? I must have said, well, I got a regular sandwich. My boss got a sandwich, and my friend got just got some big wedge.
It was a 4x4, a 4x4 piece of like,
4x4, bruh.
4x4 wedge.
We're building houses out here.
and Jake's like, and when I was eating, I was still talking with you, just quietly, and then like it was gone.
No, and then like on my second half of my sandwich, I hear like the paper crumpling up. I'm like, oh.
Are you done?
I'm like, I said, oh, are you gonna save that for later? He's like, oh, no, I'm done. So we finished.
It gone. It was like the size of my forearm, basically.
4x4 out here.
And it was like this. I was like, oh.
So you made out with your sandwich and it was gone.
Yes. And you already know it was like a chicken cutlet, lettuce, tomato, I think some mustard. I think I ordered for mine this time, and jalapeno peppers.
Nice.
And pepper jack cheese. That's right.
Pepper jack.
You can't forget about that. It was chicken cutlet, pepper jack cheese, lettuce, tomato. I think you had
Honey mustard or mustard?
What?
I think it was honey mustard, right? Or mustard,
Maybe,
one or the other.
But you had some kind of peppers. Was it banana peppers?
Jalapeno peppers.
Jalapeno peppers. Yes, that's what it was. Jalapeno peppers.
That's also tasty. Oh,
On
man.
a wedge.
Wait. So let me ask a question. So Jake, are you for like getting hot dogs or ordering hot dogs? Are you mustard guy, ketchup guy, or just naked?
Mustard guy. Mustard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I in fact, I've actually had all three ways before, but mustard is still the best.
That's the way to go. Yeah, definitely. Yep. Do you do the relish or anything like that, or
not really? I mean, I know we do mustard, but what I really like though is a chili on it. Chili dog.
Chili
Really?
cheese dogs? Yes.
Chili. Yeah. I actually
without the cheese or without cheese?
I've done without cheese. I actually haven't tried with cheese yet. I do want to try that, but that would definitely that's definitely something on my bucket list. I want to try chili cheese
Yes.
dog.
Chili cheese dog.
Yeah, no, dude. I remember when I was growing up watching Sonic the Hedgehog, and he would always order his chili cheese dogs, and I'm like, "Yo, dude, that's the American dream right there."
That's
He
funny.
made an industry right there.
Like a Japanese cartoon character coming along and, and telling me about chili cheese dogs. Yes, very
And then
American.
Pokemon bringing you donuts.
Chili donuts
Chili
Jelly-filled
donuts.
donuts.
that look like rice balls. Yes,
These jelly-filled donuts.
that's awesome, dude. No, that makes me happy. Or do you also have pickle, or do you eat pickles on the side, or no? Is that like or sauerkraut or anything like that?
No, not really. No, just mustard. That's it.
Cool. Marcos, what about you, buddy?
Yes.
For everything, yes.
Yes.
Excellent. That's what I like to
Yes, for
hear, buddy.
everything. Just a one word straight answer. Yes.
It's like, what would you like? Yes.
Would you like everything that we have? Yes.
Let me have it the Marcos way.
Not the Aki way. The me way. The Marcos way.
Yes.
The yes way.
That's awesome, dude. I would love to eat one of those.
No, but you were gonna ask something else as well, Alan.
About, I'm trying to remember.
The sandwiches, I guess. Or was it the hot dog? The hot
No,
dog.
it was a hot dog thing, but I mean, other than that, I mean,
Oh, pizza. What about pizza? We had pizza at work.
Oh yeah, we did.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I remember one time where I forgot what I forgot what
Margarita, chicken parm, and pepperoni.
So I think he had a little bit of everything, right? So I think I know
We ordered 2 pies for 3 people.
That's right. Yeah, I know. I had 2 chicken parm slices. That's my favorite. Margarita's pretty good, and then I'd say just good old plain cheese. You know,
Can't go wrong with that. It's
exactly.
respectable.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Original.
do the honey hot or no?
Yes, I do if the option is there, but I could always eat it naked, if you will.
Yes. What
I
about
don't say-
the
I don't shy away to the parm or grandma's. Grandma reminds me of
The grandma
Sicilian.
reminds me of the grandpa. It's like,
Grandma reminds me of Sicilian.
Sicilian.
Grandma reminds me of Sicilian.
or the focaccia slice.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the rounded corners like the Sicilian.
I want the brolic boat that you would get from school.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a square. It was like it was
like a-
rounded up in the corner and at one side,
know.
and then like square at the back.
That
Yeah,
would confuse the hell out of me. I'm like, why are we eating like boats?
a boat.
I've had like rectangular pizza before too, like frozen rectangular pieces.
Not some from the pizza shop. You like straight from the freezer then.
Sounds like the Elio's pizza from back in the day.
That's what it is. Yes, it's Elliot. Yeah, it is.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. Like I remember what it was, but I forgot the brand. Yeah, that's what it is.
Dude, that's a throwback for me. Yeah, Elio's.
Just like I remember I would be like after school, at the kitchen table for dinner time and having that Elio's frozen pizza. I mean, I've always been a pizza guy, so I'm like, okay, well, I know it's not,
right.
I know it's not, real, like legit, but it'll do.
Hey, yeah.
Are you saying that? Are you implying that we're in the Matrix or something like that?
Well, no. I'm just saying that there is a wonderful, super delicious pizza place right by my house that is very good, and I really hate eating that frozen pizza because that place is like a 2-minute drive from my house.
Right.
Can't walk because it's on the main road. It's like
it's like you want to go, where the Pizzolo is at the pizzeria, and you go and have a freshly made pie, with all the
hey, yo, Tony, can I get a pie?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Tony, can I get a pie? Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome, dude.
But I think it's there's something to be said with Elio's. It's a standard. It's not perfect, but you get it everywhere that you can buy.
It kind of reminds me of school, bro. That's why.
School pizza, yeah.
On Fridays.
Yeah. Yes. School pizza on Fridays.
No, but
there's
actually. Oh, go ahead, Jake.
Well, there's actually on I think it was Tuesdays or Wednesdays. My middle school and high school used to actually have pizza brought in from a place, and that was pretty good.
They would empty it out, basically.
What?
They would empty out the pizza place then.
Yeah, well, yeah. I can't even imagine. That pizza place must have had to get there at like 7:00 in the morning just to make pizzas, and meanwhile, our lunchtime was at like 10:30 in the morning.
What?
Yeah, because we started at 7:30, and to break it up, our lunchtime would be at 10:30 in the morning. To breakfast, so we'd be having pizza for breakfast, and these guys are making these pizzas fresh way before 10:30 because they got to get dropped off to the school first, then get they probably put them in the ovens to stay warm, I would imagine. But it's like such a science. Like, it's just make pizza, but the amount of pies you probably had to make, probably dozens of pies to just to like ship to the school, not even general orders to the public.
That must have been a solid job for them, though.
Oh yeah. That has to be. But I will say too, there were some days where, the pizza just wouldn't be good. I don't know if it was like a different sauce one day, maybe it was refrigerated. I don't know, but even though it was real pizza, it was good. It wasn't fresh, like it just came out of the oven. It was definitely made hours ago.
Okay.
So it's not the same. It's not the same, but it's different. It's definitely better than the it's a bonus to having that frozen school pizza on Fridays.
Yeah, that was always clutch. And I remember some teachers would be really, really mean and messed up and lie to us and be like, hey, come on, guys. You kids have to be good because today we're getting Domino's pizza, and everybody would get so hyped. And when we would get those boat pizzas, I'm like, oh no,
yeah,
what is this?
You've been bamboozled.
Bamboozled. I remember one day at work, Marcos, maybe you can refresh the story, but you were on like a class trip or something like that, and someone was like, "Oh, let's get Domino's," and then you're like, "No, there's a really good pizza place right there." I think. Do you remember that story?
I stood my ground. No, let's get the local place. No,
yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll order.
But you said, like, someone's like, let's get Domino's, and you said, Jake, I slammed my fist on the table and said no.
Verbally, not physically, I respectfully and attentively put my fist down on the table.
No, but that makes sense. Why the hell? Like we live in New York. Why the hell would we want to get some like
Domino's.
fake pizza? Yeah, go to
Domino's has consistency,
I mean,
but there's nothing compared to a mom and pop shop.
no,
Absolutely.
I mean, again, Domino's is good, but
definitely.
that's not for eating if there's like a really good pizza place right by your house.
Exactly.
It's like Taco Bell. Taco Bell is it's not good. It's not bad. But it's a standard across the country, maybe the world. I don't know.
Right.
They thought outside the box in the country, maybe. But then once you go to a local taco shop or Mexican situation, even Chipotle, like an example. I don't know if you've had Chipotle, Jake. I've only had Chipotle once, and I was like, rice. Well, I have this at home. I have this at local shops. Why would I want this? It's not bad. I give it its respect where it deserves. But there's local mom and pop shops that are way better, Mexican style or
Right.
pizza shop. Or even diners. Diners blow out all fast food places off the water in burgers.
Diners
Really?
are great. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I mean, I would say if you're gonna go get
Are you
some,
putting
like,
your hand your respectfully? You're putting your fist down for burgers.
I think you might have took that statement too far. That
I've gone too far. I think I've gone too far.
I think diners are great.
Diners are great, but I don't think some diners don't have as good burgers as fast food.
I have an example. Like, what would be for you guys? For you, Jake and Alan. What's your? I'm hungry. It's 5-6 p.m. I'm out at 7.
Right.
Let me have some quick dinner. Where would you be your top choice if you wanted a burger?
If you want it, a burger, like if we were talking about options, then obviously the diner's the safer choice because you have plenty of options, right?
Right.
I think a lot of the diners are, at least in the area that I know of, particularly owned and ran by people from Greece, right? The Greeks.
Yes.
And they have like really good Greek food, some more than others. But like if we were talking strictly about burgers, like I would probably want to go to somewhere like a Bear Burger if I wanted to get a good burger.
So kind of like kind of like a burger chain.
Right. Like, but
A
I
good
guess
burger place, yeah.
right. And I think Bear Burger is up there because not only do they specialize in burgers, they actually they kind of care a little bit more where you're able to get like order elk burger, right? Or you want a burger that's not a particular type of protein, right? So maybe you want like an all-American, you get the all-American beef, right? Maybe you want something that's a little more I guess lean. Maybe you want to get an elk burger or something like that, or a bison burger or something like that. Maybe you want to go towards that area. Now if you want to get an actual like maybe run-of-the-mill fast food joint like
McDonald's, no disrespect, but McDonald's. Let's go for McDonald's example.
well, if you want to do something cheap that way, yeah. But like I would even go towards maybe like a Shake Shack or something like that. Maybe get something there.
Because I'm sorry, Burger King, it might have burger in the name, but I don't think it's the best burger spot.
No, definitely not.
I agree with that. Yeah, Burger King is in the name, but
That's all it
it's not
is.
great.
Like Taco Bell, if you will.
Or like Wendy's. Wendy's used to be all right.
Okay. And what about the other one? I don't know what happened to this. Uno was like a chain where it was like a chain for diners, or what it was, or was
Pizzeriona?
it pizzeria? Okay,
Yeah,
Uno,
Pizzeriona.
I haven't seen any anymore.
I never heard
No,
of
I think they went bankrupt, bro.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
It was a chain. It was like not as big as Domino's or as Pizza Hut,
Okay.
but it had
I think it was a Chicago style pizzeria. That's probably why.
Damn.
We're in New York. That's probably why.
they had too many.
Yeah, that's why.
That's probably why. They want to sell us lasagna and call it pizza.
Yeah. It's a wonderful Chicago pizza. And it's like lasagna or like pasta or something. They just call it
Lasagna,
pizza.
It's like, why are you telling me this is pizza? This is blasphemy. It's not pizza. Now, mind you, there might be other styles because I've heard that Detroit style pizza is pretty good.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't had anything very authentic from Detroit as far as pizza, like over here in New York. And I haven't been to Detroit to be like, oh yeah, let me go to a particular spot.
Or a Seattle style.
Right.
Pizza, you know?
I mean, even when we had like a California pizza kitchen around here, I never went to it, so I wouldn't know if California really does anything good with pizzas or anything like that. But I mean, the local spots here where we're at, they're really good. I particularly like this one on Broadway, and obviously Tomatoes, but yeah, there's a spot over there on Tomatoes Pizzeria with
Tomato.
Yes, which is really good.
Tomatoes.
On Tomato Way.
There's another one
Tomato
over
Way. Tomato Street.
on Tomato Street. Yeah, there's another one over here by the train station in, I want to say, Tomatoes.
On Tomato Dale.
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
Called the House of Tomatoes. And I think they have really good pizza.
Good tomatoes.
Yeah, good
you know?
tomatoes. and dough. Another great spot I enjoy going to is over here at Tomatoes. Over here on Tomatoes Ave. Another really good spot. At least I think. So yeah, those are the spots I would probably recommend to people to go here around where I enjoy living around.
When I did my my evaluation on tomatoes,
Yes.
it was I had a local, I forgot it was like Tony something, and I had the matter of fact, I think I had receipts for it. I'll probably post a screenshot.
I had the grandparents' pizza because
grandma.
I got
grandma.
I got both grandma and
slice.
grandpa.
And pepperoni slice. I felt educated in the sense of food when I said, "Grandma's? Is that a Sicilian? What is that?" You know, I'll have them because I didn't find the Sicilian on the menu. I was like, you know what? I'll have a grandma option. Do you know what a grandma slice is, Alan?
I've had plenty of grandmas, but I've also seen.
Wait a minute. Pause. What?
I've also had plenty of grandpa slices as well. I've also had what's it called? The
Sicilian.
The Sicilian. I've had the
Margarita,
but honey hot, I think it's called. I've had the with the little what's it called? The pepperoni cups.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, the pepperoni cups. Like they when you put it in the oven, they turn into like little cups.
Not knots. They're not knots.
Garlic knots?
Not garlic knots. Not garlic knots.
I love garlic nuts.
Garlic knots are really tasty. I enjoy it.
I know, but there's the other one like pepperoni sticks or something like pepperoni
Mozzarella
little
sticks?
something like
Or like
that.
mozzarella
No, they're like
poppers.
something like yeah.
Are you thinking about like Hot Pockets, bro? Or like
I mean, it reminds me, but it's a little thing that the shops also have though.
Tostitos?
pieces. Something like that in the pizza shops. You know, some pizza shops also offer that.
Oh, I don't know, bro. Like you mean like a pizza roll or something?
Something like a pizza roll, but it's leftover dough that they have, and they just put piece of pepperoni meat or different kinds of meat, and they'll say it's this one.
That sounds like a Hot Pocket, bro.
It sounds like a Hot Pocket, but it's like barely the size of my palm. I don't know. Alan,
that's
like the size of my palm, if you will, like
sounds like a mini Stromboli almost.
something like that. Or
Stromboli,
maybe?
yeah. Is that what it is? Is Stromboli?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I mean, well, nah, not really. I mean, because I know Stromboli is more. It's got like, I think it's more bread. It's not really dough.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, I could be thinking it wrong, and then yeah, probably is Stromboli then.
got, yeah.
Well, I don't know, bro. Like, it could be that
I need to take a picture the
that
next
place
time I go.
probably makes that specifically for that restaurant, maybe. Or
See, like that's another thing. It's the deregulation, if you will, of the pizza shops that could have their own hyper local thing versus a Chipotle that could have a burrito and a certain style burrito or a burger. McDonald's can always have a Big Mac or a quarter pounder. From here to the West Coast, you know, from sea to shining sea, a quarter
There you
pounder
go.
will always We'll all be
Sea
there.
to sea to shining sea. Yep.
Have you guys had like specialty pies like over here on that? I think we mentioned it before on the app where it's like it was, I think, nominated for Michelin stars or something like that.
I think so, but I've never gone to that specialty place. But something in tomatoes in tomato.
Yeah, and basically they do like a clam, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like a clam pie, and
Clams though are more in a specialty of Connecticut though, and up northeast a little bit higher.
right. Well, I think that's why they specialize in it, because I've tasted their clam pie before and it tastes really yummy. I mean, it almost kind of gives you like that anchovy type of flavor profile because of the seafood. But have you guys tried like white pies before, or like?
I don't see colors. I'm sorry.
Me neither.
I just see pie. Jake's like, what?
Yeah.
All that.
What are colors?
Yes.
I don't know what colors are.
Yes. Or like the vodka sauce pies or something like that.
Yes.
Or like,
I have the vodka sauce. I've tried it, but I haven't had the white.
or like a chicken parm, or like one of those.
Yes.
I love those chicken parm slices. Yeah.
Or like the
Love
really
those.
fancy ones where they'll put like almost like they'll set it up like a caprese, where they'll do like the cheese, like the mozzarella, the balsamic reduction, the arugula or something like that, or they'll
Or the roux.
or they'll do like figs, right? Like really thinly sliced figs and stuff like that.
This sounds like a $30+ per slice.
Right.
Yeah.
All you need is caviar.
And little
It's
dusting
probably like
powder.
$150.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I've had slices like that and they taste all right, but I mean nothing beats.
But are they good now?
But nothing beats an original like a pepperoni slice or something like that.
Right.
Those are yum.
I'm telling you, that's like on the skill tree right now. I think that's the maxed out skill tree at the moment. They need to reach a new level.
Yeah, true.
Like I don't know what would be the next level. Like some people say that I think Korean, I think it's the Korean ones. Some pies in Korea are pretty strong.
A Korean
in flavor,
slice.
pretty good. Yeah, obviously in Korea.
Yeah.
For example, wings, fried chicken in general.
I like
Korea is pretty strong.
fried chicken's delicious.
Yeah, like,
It is right.
just on wings, just little wings. Korean places like tomato, BBQ. There you go. That's like a chain, right?
Yeah, that's a chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Untomato that. Redact that tomato.
Untomato that. Untomato.
Vegetables, you say.
There you go. And
Vegetables.
but yeah, like I feel like specifically Korean fried cuisine, if you will, is up there personally.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Have you had wings, Jake?
Yes. Chicken wings are good. I used to be, when I was a kid, I'm sure I've told Marcos that, but I used to be, I'm not saying that I'm not now, but I used to be a very picky eater.
Oh, okay.
So oh look, you
Oh, you're
Yes,
chicken
I'm very-
nuggets then.
disappointed. Anyway, you guys are very disappointed. No, I was like, oh, I'm a very picky eater, and Marcos was like, oh. Anyway, so I really had started kind of getting into wings a few years ago, actually, and I like them. I'm still a basic guy. I just like buffalo wings. I've tried. In fact, on New Year's Eve, I was with some friends up in Tomatoes, and we actually made our own wings. We had like some kind of like peach flavored like barbecue sauce on it on them.
Oh.
That's
And,
interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Yeah, it wasn't good or bad. It was medium. But yeah, I that's like regular traditional buffalo wings.
I need to introduce you to the honey one though. The honey something, honey garlic by the chain BBQ. It's
okay.
Yes, or the lemon pepper is really good too.
Okay.
Again, there's three maybe that Alan introduced me to. That there were two of them were juicy, and one was dry, like a dry kind of like fried. No, what's the word, Alan? Like it had like a crust on top instead of it being juicy wings. It was like a dry wing on top. Like it had like a dry rub. A dry rub, but it was the wing had like a layer of fried.
A crust, kind of like a
crust, yes.
Like a burnt layer of just.
It wasn't burnt. It was fried, if you will.
Right, okay, fried.
Like KFC fried, but like this Korean style, and it wasn't burnt. It was just right, and having side by side that one, and having the honey barbecue, and the other one that Alan said it was. Oh, sorry, really.
You're hungry, buddy? Me too.
No. I'm just remembering the good wing times, you know.
That's true.
The good wing times. Yeah, there you go.
Hanging 10 with wings.
Hanging 10 with wings.
So, what else? I feel like with that one we can slide into the anime portion. Do you feel comfortable with that, Alan?
Yeah, definitely. I'm down.
Jake, are you comfortable with sliding into some anime? Like
sure, yeah. Sure. I mean, I'm gonna say it up front. I know absolutely nothing about anime, so I think whatever you guys talk about, I'm gonna learn something because I know nothing about it. So I think it will be a learning experience for me.
Okay. So first things first. There's the.
Well, actually, so can I just ask a question? I mean, I'm sure listeners know, but in case maybe a listener or two doesn't know, like me, can you kind of explain the gist of kind of what anime is? Like, I know it has something to do with the characters and kind of like something about images, but if you can kind of explain, maybe to me, but also it could be a few listeners out there that maybe just don't know. So can you kind of just give me like an overview of what it is?
So. Would you like to do it, Alan, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I can break down a little bit of what anime is. So, anime is basically what people would consider Japanese animation.
Okay.
So, anime is basically like a derivative or a short version of saying animation. So instead of them saying animation, they'll just say anime.
Right.
And basically, it has to do with just the animation that is produced in Japan by Japanese artists and the production companies that basically fund their actual what we would consider comics. Here, they would consider manga over there, which would be their source material. Now, the source material, like over here, being comic books, get translated into animations like TV shows or movies, where over there is a little different because they not only take mangas, but they also take something called light novels or other mediums or media like video games and stuff, and they'll make those stories into anime or animations into shows. And for the most part, they'll break them up into certain season shows, which are usually 12 episodes per season. And then you'll have other ones that are a little bit more substantial, where you'll have like 24 episodes or a little bit more or a little less. And then you'll have like ongoing anime shows that are continuous, season in and season out. And and
what's a season? Also?
Usually seasons consist of 3 months, so that's usually a season of anime. So you'll get 12 episodes per 3 months. And once those months are up, then you'll have the next season coming up. So it's basically broken down into like winter season, spring season, summer season, and back over into like fall season.
Fall season, okay.
Right, and then go ahead.
And now are these like general? Is anime, can that be like anything, or does most of it kind of like revolve around a certain subject or a series of topics?
Yeah, so basically it's a lot different from our Western media, where we usually tend to associate animation with mostly kid shows, like say well, we associate it
SpongeBob or something,
right. So those Nicktoons or what's another good example?
Cartoon Network.
You'll have those type of shows, and it usually was more, or Disney, right? And that's usually geared towards more younger audience, like kids and maybe like pre-teens, like that. Those are the type of shows that that's geared towards. That's the target market. But for anime in the East, it's really they don't have that limitation or boundary, or they don't see it that way. They basically are able to communicate what they're trying to show, the story that they're trying to portray, for whatever age it's or even gender. Like say there's something called shonen anime, which is geared more toward young males, right, or boys, that puts a hero that basically they can relate to, and and usually it's that one character or main character that struggles and is able to, against all odds, accomplish a set goal, and that's what shonen anime is, where you have like shoujo, where it's more a female twist to it, where the main character is mostly females, and it's basically something similar but only in a female form, or for that target audience. And then you'll have other
Slice of life.
Well, that's more a genre, but like say you'll have something called seinen, where the stories are a lot more adult, right? So these are more like whatever genre you wanna express, where it could be, to Marcos' point, a slice of life. It can be fantasy. It can be something like a power fantasy, or it could be more historical time period, or it could be also again gory, or it could be something more adventure. And so you'll have all these genres, but because they're under that seinen or grown up material, where a lot of these characters curse, a lot of these characters might even kill, or they have just like these complex ways of thinking, where you could have sworn if they took that animation or that story and put it into like a movie form in a live action type of setting, it would probably work really well, because the story is just that strong. But they choose to use the medium of animation because they don't need to pay human actors to act out those things. They can pay voice actors to just voice the characters that are a lot more flexible with the goings about their daily things, right? So
and animation is more freeing versus an actor that you have to
right.
constrain yourself towards being a person.
or even the actual limitations of actual reality, where there might be characters that fly. No one here really flies, right? Unless you're on a plane or something, right? So that aspect of being able to bend the reality and
to fit the story.
Right, you're able to do it in that type of medium. So so there's a little bit of everything. You'll have anime that's geared towards kids, young adults, and then for adults, and then whatever type of genre that might fall into. You might have an adult anime that's geared towards adults, that is more of a like a slice of life or an adventure, where you might have something that's for adolescents that is more geared toward like sports anime, where it's like it really doesn't give you it really doesn't work. It wouldn't work in real life, but because it's well written, there's a lot of team activities and stuff like that. they can take a subject like boxing or racing or playing golf or some sort of sport activity, and they can make the anime geared towards around that subject and make it entertaining, because it's a strong story or it's an uplifting story. Where there might be other stories that are geared more towards children. It's like a detective story, and it helps them, learn their colors or how to not cross the street without, adult supervision. So there's a bit of everything scattered around that type of medium of animation or Japanese anime. And a lot of other countries are trying to basically get into that subject. As of recent, one of South Korea's most popular manga, so their source material is being animated as we speak into anime. And that's a lot of people are saying that's a step in the right direction, where you're able to have other countries that have the talent to do or create these stories and also get them animated. And it's a big win for a lot of people, because now you have not only a story that pertains to one country, you're able to have different perspectives and ways of telling a story from other countries. And I'm just waiting for where we have in the States, we have comic books, we have Superman, we have Batman, we have the Flash, we have Spider-Man, we have Iron Man, right?
Right.
There's already been animes of those, by the way.
Right, and then we have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of these get the anime treatment, where they'll have like Japanese what's it called, storyboard artists and other artists to actually draw up the actual story for the anime, and they'll give it that anime touch, so it looks unique in the sense of, it's like, the character, but you've never seen it drawn in that way or fashion, and the story might differ a little bit from an original story from like Spider-Man from the 80s or the 90s, right? Or a Green Lantern story or a Batman story or DC Universe or Marvel Universe. So you see or you get to have that melding of two types of cultures, and it's a nice little touch. So I don't know if there's any other question. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, no, you definitely did. I mean, thanks for that explanation, because I mean, again, it probably not only for me. I'm sure a few other listeners out there, that just may not simply know what it is,
I hear you.
or may not know enough about it. So I feel like now that I have an idea, of kind of what you guys are going to talk about, I kind of have an idea of kind of how it all works. My last question, or one of my last questions, is when you're saying so these animes, right? They're so the voice actors are they're playing the characters, but the character isn't actually the same person who's doing the voice, right? So basically, you don't need like a really good actor, from Broadway or Tomatoes, to do it. It could be, for example, someone like one of the three of us can, be the voice actor, right? Like, you don't have to be a professional person to do that, or do you?
So in anime, they usually take that a lot more seriously. They don't grab just randos from the street and be like, "Hey, can you voice this certain character?"
Right.
Usually, at least in Japan, from what my understanding, from what I've researched, there's actual schools for voice acting out in Japan.
That's pretty, actually. That's cool. I mean, I wonder how it even works. Yeah.
Right. So, besides that type of regimen and training, a lot of these people not only do voice acting, because apparently sometimes I don't know how faithful the information is, but some voice actors get paid a lot more than others just because of how good they are in acting. Because the way they explain it is that in order for you to be a really good voice actor, you have to be a good actor in general, or actress in general, depending if you're a guy or a girl. A lot of these voice actors tend to do other things besides voice act. So this is doing their acting on like a Broadway, or on TV shows, or in movies, or they have a career or somewhat of a career in singing or drama on like shows.
Multifaceted people in that industry.
Right.
Basically.
So they have their foot in the entertainment industry. So they're able to actually practice in variety of ways. And this translates to them doing a really good job when you need someone to act a certain way, like they're a mob boss, or they're a superhero, or if they're a detective, or if they're some sort of high school student, or if they're an adult or a parent. They're able to get into that particular character's ways or mindset, and they're able to act it out. And when you listen to them speak with that character in mind, they're able to convey that feeling that they're trying to get you to feel with that situation or their voice acting, right? Where over here in the States, the difference is that a lot of the voice actors or voice actors are usually people that have already or have started their career in other mediums like singing perhaps or acting, but they transition over to voice acting because that's where they're getting more jobs. And we've had a friend of the show's, Shiren, that is a voice actress, and she has told us before that she does a lot of collabs with people in the industry, which helps her a lot with getting her voice acting, or her practice in, which translates over to what her job is, or the job she's actually taking for voice acting. So from what I remember her telling us, there isn't really a school or a course or a class.
She searched.
Right. She had to look for people to really work with in order for her to get better at the actual voice acting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, I mean, I'm not quite sure about other countries, but I'm pretty sure they take the same approach as us, like in the US, where they don't really have a school for it, where the difference is that in Japan they actually take it seriously enough to actually have a school for it. And they basically it's a very tough type of school or regimen that not a lot of people actually graduate or pass, because like many things, like over here, not everyone gets to be a Hollywood actor or actress. So that's like, I guess you can say the epitome or the top, right? And not everybody can be it. So that's kind of the way of that it works over there as well, where not everybody can be a voice actor. Just because you would like to voice a character doesn't mean you're able to do it because of the demanding perhaps script or the competition, right? The competitors, right, that you have, because there can only be so many girls to be magical girls for shows, or or guys being superheroes on certain shows. Like they don't need so many, and a lot of the voice actors probably might do maybe one or two or even three voices on the same show, and they have to be very versatile with their voice in order for them to speak in such a way that people don't really get or don't notice that it's the same person until the credits roll and they see that they voiced three characters, and they're like, wow, that person is very talented and very versatile.
That's cool.
Yeah, with the range of their voice. And
may I say
go ahead.
An example for the voice acting part in Japan, they have their foot in different markets that keep them in the mind of of may that be other directors, other actors in different projects. That's not only for voices. That's why they have to be pretty good at acting, at the whole concept of being actors, not only voice actors. It's a blend over there versus over here. There's companies, for example. There are two main companies. There used to be more, but right now there's two, maybe not even one. But back in the day, there used to be two, called Funimation and Crunchyroll. They used to be companies that were dedicated towards people to voice Japanese content to English. It's called dubbing in our nomenclature in English. It's called dubbing, specifically for Japanese, for anime. And it got I wouldn't be able to tell you the hiring rate for them to be voice actors, but some of those people that worked there became famous, if you will, for voicing one character. For example, there's an anime called Dragon Ball Z. This person, the main character, it's a shonen series of a person that wants to be stronger, fights the villain, and all those things.
Right.
His name is Goku.
Okay.
And in Japanese, it's a lady. The lady has been voicing them since the 80s, Alan?
Yeah, I believe
the 80s.
so.
And she's super famous in Japan, but she's also an actress
Oh, okay.
in Japan of doing different projects. Versus here, the gentleman that right now does the voice, or since the beginning that they started translating to English, I personally know him out of that Goku voice actor, and he's probably been in more projects, but he's the Goku guy voice, if you will. And then there's the villain that used to be back in the day of this, the antagonist, if you will, of this series, used to be Vegeta. He was voiced by 3 different people in English, and or 2 different people, and recently he's been voiced by one person. But this one person also voices another main character in that series, and then another named character, Vegeta, right, Alan?
Yeah.
I forgot his name, the actor, but he's the Vegeta guy. He's the Piccolo guy.
Right.
And throughout the early 2000s, he was jumping onto different projects because he launched his own dubbing company. So he got himself, since he was working with Funimation, he launched his own dubbing company, and then integrated it into Funimation, and that way he can dub and hire people. I don't know if by acting or like with our previous guest with online projects, he would go to conventions and network, if you will, and potentially go to LA to do different, Los Angeles to do different projects, to go to the East Coast like New York City to do something, but projects and voiceover projects. But eventually this individual made his own company in Texas and lives over there and does his things over there. But I personally don't know if in the US specifically the voice actors are actually also all round actors. They might be theater actors. There used to be another voice actor in English that he used to be a very famous band player in the rock band, like Alan said. But he jumped. His name was Vic Mañana. He jumped into voice acting, but whatsoever he left, whatever reasons he left the voiceover industry, went back into band making, into music production of him being in the band, and he's working at it as a band right now. There's another one, something Sky, Victor Sky or something like that. He's the voice actor for Spike Spiegel, for different I forgot his name, but he was the first voice actor in 2020, 2021, before the pandemic, like in the beginnings, to be one of the only voice actors to be 100% sustainable just by doing voiceover work in anime. And right now, as of 2024, there hasn't, obviously he's been doing it since the 80s, since the 90s in the business, in the industry, but he also did different side projects. But now, since the 80s, let's say, since he started, he's 100% sustainable just by working on animations, Japanese animations, turning them into English. But he also became a director, instructing other few like talent on the job, that he not only stayed as a voice actor in English, but he became a director to give them the nuances on the job site versus it being school, and that's been there for years now. It's totally different. Like, just to get yourself into the door in the US at least, is that you have to be doing side projects. Maybe by pure coincidence you find yourself or the person finds your project on YouTube, because there's also people that did it that way. That there's no standard here, and which is good and bad at the same time. Versus the Japanese one, that they're schooled. You can get grades, you can pass, you can fail, and it's a competitive thing on both sides here and across the Pacific.
Okay.
Sorry, I was rambling.
No, you're good, bro.
You're good. No, that's very cool.
It's like, we love the anime, but it's not only the end product that we like. We like the behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, right? Like kind of what goes into it, like all the different the voice actors, the producers, the
companies,
the storylines.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the other thing, right? So who writes these stories? Who creates these fictional or reality stories? Like whose job is that?
There's if it's a manga, because that's a Japanese comic. If it's a manga,
Right.
what's the name of those people that they're mangakas, Alan, or what's their name?
Yeah, so the mangakas are the ones that are writing the original source material stories. So source materials are usually either mangas or light novel authors.
Right.
And then the other one that I usually hear of is the story, the author of a story that is made into a video game original. So a lot of the times these are the three.
This podcast holds nothing sacred. This is Life, Tech, and Sundry, LTS for short. And what is Sundry? It's our experiences put in a melting pot to the internet. Join Alan, Marcos, and Josue, the hosts of LTS. We live in an ever-changing and exciting world. So join us on this wild ride called the LTS Podcast. Follow us at LT Sundry on Twitter, LTS.pod on Instagram, Life, Tech, and Sundry on YouTube, and all your favorite podcast distribution services. Stay frosty.
Source materials that they draw inspiration, or where they gather the actual source material to create into or make into a anime. Now the fourth one is, I guess you can say, the newer one, which is what's it called? Which are authors that create their own stories and upload them online. So I forgot the name of these creators. Marcos, help me out with this.
Not one shots. No. The same. It's basically the guy, like an anime example. I can give you the example as One Punch Man. He did it everything online, right? I think.
Right.
That's the kind of voice.
Yeah. So.
I'm looking at now.
So I guess you can say online novels. So online novels are basically like light novels, but instead of being published in physical books, and these light novels are usually just writing.
Webcomic.
Webcomic. Okay.
Right. So webcomics have been the new source material for some newer animations, like the one I mentioned before for the South Korean manhwa Solo Leveling. That is airing now this season of winter 2024. That's the original source material. It's a webcomic author and artist. And a Japanese one that recently ended. Season 2 ended, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is called Mushoku Tensei, or in English it would be translated to Jobless Reincarnation. That also originally was a webtoon, or a online author that published online instead of physical, uploaded story, and gain notoriety, gain a lot of people, a lot of followers, and it translated to his story getting picked up and being turned into an anime. So those are just some of the ways that people, or the source material gets, or the author of the source material gets their opportunity to make their story into an anime.
And trust me, there's
Nice.
a lot of them. What may that be webcomics, light novels, mangas? There's a lot, and those are very strong industries in Asia, maybe even globally on their own. And anime can pull from that deep well of content, if you will.
Right. It's yeah. I mean, it's cool. I mean, because it's when you learn something so brand new, like it's always hard to kind of like put it back into words, because like you're like taking it all in, you know, kind of at once. You're taking it all in. But I like it. It sounds cool. It definitely you know,
It's a whole world of
Exactly,
content, if you will. That
right.
it's not only on the show itself, but also on the production side, on the backstory.
What goes into it, right? Like
Yes,
the
yes.
behind the scenes, the you know, back end stuff, like what goes into it.
That on its own, they've made anime on that as well.
Really?
Not what's it? Recreators? No. What's the name of that anime that Mr. J Josue really liked? It was I think it's called Recreators or Animators, something like that, where it showed the production cycle of people, of how they draw the quick time crunch. There's snippets in other anime, for example, Golden Boy. It's another anime from the late 90s, or early 80s. No, late 80s. And that this guy, main character, was always jumping from job to job, may that be whatever reason, and he landed in a place where they were animating and they were hand drawing stuff, and they were in a quick time crunch. That emotion of us as a viewer, as a spectator to the concert of the animation, to see how people are always running, crunching to make more. They push in overtime, and then there's also a lot of controversy with the overtime over there. That there's a lot of people that work for pennies on the hour because they love the There's, you know, the Japanese or Asian culture, in this case Japanese, is known for pushing to the limit, right, Alan? That in the sense of following their passion in this industry.
Yes.
That on its own is our stories that we like to talk about or witness. Like there's homages and animations to that, a hint to that. Like, look at what's going on in the background. So, for example, this season, what's the one for this season that I've been watching? I'll try to slide into an example that's going on this season or the last season. Is called something with broken games, Shangri-La Frontier, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The anime is about a person. Obviously, it's in the future. Probably in the future.
Okay.
That it's a lot of VR gaming, virtual reality gaming. And
Interesting.
This individual, that's the premise. This individual likes to play buggy games, likes to win these buggy games, finding the
Okay.
exploits to reach the end of the game. And right now, after him like, okay, I finished this impossible buggy game. Even in the US, there's infamous video games that are so buggy, but they gain a cult following because they're buggy. An example is in the 90s, there was one that's called the Superman video game. I forgot what console, but it's infamous for reaching a level and you can't finish it. And the people that made the video game are like, oh, we messed up. We can't do a patch or fix it because they were all on CD or whatever console. You know, it's buggy like that. It's a feature. And now people are collecting it for way more than they're worth, right? And that's the premise in this one. This premise, the main character is done. You know, he's done. He's bored of playing buggy games, and the connoisseur or sommelier connoisseur, for video games says, don't play a buggy game this time. Play a smooth
A AAA.
AAA.
Yep.
AAA. I don't know what it stands for, but AAA title. that's not buggy, and it's the most recent thing, cutting edge in technology or in video game production. Okay. Ow, I bumped my nose. Okay. Against the microphone. And he's saying, okay. And this person jumps in, and because of his experiences in other video games, he thinks outside the box, and because the game, quote unquote, uses a lot of AI, it works around him and creates his own adventure because it's not buggy, and it's giving him a great time. And it's also dubbed. Alan was telling me, because it relates to the podcast. Can you share him the story that you were asking me, Alan, about the intro of that Shangri-La Frontier?
What part of
the intro voice actor?
The intro voice actor
for the English dub. Wait, is that the person that?
Oh no! I think it was. So in the English dub, there's someone, and it sounds like a female, right? Well, it is a female, but what it sounds like more than her pitch and voice sound exactly the same as the person that Marcos hired through, what was the website?
Online. I think it was up Fiverr.
So Marcos had hired someone through Fiverr to do a little reading for one of our I guess commercials or mid credit recordings. So this is the person that does voice acting, and
it sounds so.
And she offered her services through Fiverr for like voice recordings or dubbing or something like that, right?
You write the lines and they'll read it.
That's cool.
Right.
So you give the pointers.
So it's
so not.
Yeah. So
well, no. So not to cut you off, but so just kind of understand what you guys are basically to make both sides clear. I know on previous episodes you guys have someone it's a lady saying, this is welcome to the LTS podcast.
There are two ladies, by the way, not just one.
Two. Okay, I only heard one from the ones I've heard, but
I like to jump around. Yes, but yeah, one of those ladies.
But basically, those are real people that you guys hired. Like that's not AI. Like those are real people.
Right. Those are two real people reading the lines.
Nice.
Right. So Marcos,
I figured they were. I figured.
No, yeah, definitely. Because like you were saying before,
same page. Right?
Yeah. Like you were saying before, AI has become very synonymous or almost like very real.
Right.
But no, Marcos did his due diligence. He hired two people to read the lines that he wanted for the mid credit commercials or the intro or outro to the actual show. And one of these ladies in particular sounds very similar to the lady that's voice acting and dubbing
on the intro
of the show Shangri-La Frontier. So I'm not a big dub fan in the sense of like I tend not to watch the show dubbed in English. I usually watch it in Japanese with the English subtitles, and not to say because I don't like the English dub. It's just that sometimes there's a lot of lost in translation as far as like the way things are expressed in English, where it just seems a little bit more accurate when you're reading it, and hopefully the person that's translating it into written form is a little bit better at doing that than the person that's actually voice acting it, because sometimes they ad-lib, as we have come to find out these last couple of weeks, where there's been issues with dubbing, not because the person that have translated, but more so that the voice actresses that have been, or voice actors in general, some have taken liberties on switching certain words to I guess to fulfill a certain agenda that they have, which is really weird. And
well, what happened? Can you tell us the story? Scoop later on? What happened?
yeah. So basically, these last couple of weeks, and one has been online, back and forth with a certain content creator on YouTube and a voice actress, where they've gone back and forth on one pointing out the fact that the voice actress has been intentionally manipulating or switching up words in the English dub of the show that she's voice acting to fulfill a certain agenda or an agenda that she has. Whatever her agenda is, it's like it's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be translated, or the meaning of what she's saying towards or in the show doesn't reflect what it actually translates to. And that's.
Would you mind?
Right.
Is it?
It's just one part.
Cool. Yeah.
And then the second one is that recently in an anime con, apparently someone from there was a panel, and someone in the audience had asked a question about certain things for the translation on the show that she was voice acting. And I believe these are two separate people, but they work in the industry, and a lot of these people probably know each other. So the way that she expresses herself, it makes it seem that, well, I'm the voice actress, you follow me, I do what I want, and whatever agenda I'm pushing, you guys need to deal with it. And if you don't, well, you can kind of just piss off, basically. And and the attitude, a lot of people in the community that enjoy anime are like, wait, you're just voice acting. You're not the one that created the anime nor the source material. Why the hell should we listen to you? And why the hell are you switching something or changing something just to fulfill your greedy ways of or your agenda that you're trying to push on people? That's not right. And you can't tell us that we need to shut up and follow with you, because you're no one besides someone can
basically, I mean, you're really just the voice,
right?
Exactly.
They could definitely.
You're not the
You're not the creator.
Or no.
You're messing up someone else's work just to fulfill your I guess your want or need to feel important. And basically, people have been voicing their concerns, and more than anything else, they have said, well, if you don't like what it says, then why don't you look for another job?
Go to the source.
Yeah, or at the same, the company should hire someone that's going to be faithful to the actual translation, where there's been a lot of pushback. And this is where AI gets involved, where now companies can actually have the AI start speaking for the translation instead of hiring people that are going to do a bad job of voice acting because they want to push their agenda. And it's been kind of like a back and forth type of thing. And there's this one YouTuber in particular, I think his name is Otaku Spirit, if I'm not mistaken. And he
yes.
And he basically worded it this way, where he explained how in the future AI most likely might take away these people's jobs because they're not doing a good job of being faithful to the source material. And moreover, what it seems to be, and this is his speculation, but I think his speculation is pretty on point, where he basically explains how when the company Sony from Japan bought the company Funimation and Crunchyroll, it was done in order for them to merge both of these two companies that basically did the same thing and just make it into one company. Now, what what he explains, with what Otaku Spirit explains, is that basically it seemed to him that there was a lot of going on behind the scenes with Funimation, to the point where it was kind of like Sony kind of looked at what they were doing behind the scenes and didn't like what they saw, they didn't like what they saw, where they were being unfaithful to the translation. They were treating the source material in such a way that it didn't pay proper respect to the actual creator, and switching the actual meaning of certain things in order for them to push an agenda, and just overall not being very good at what they're supposed to do or what they were being paid to do. And ultimately what happened when Sony bought both Crunchyroll and Funimation, originally, as far as Otaku Spirit is concerned, originally the plan was to have Funimation be the one that absorbed Crunchyroll, because Funimation had just been a company longer, so it made more sense to do it. But because of the going-ons behind the scenes at Funimation, and Sony being the I guess the owner now
of both,
made it so that Crunchyroll absorbed Funimation, and this is their way of being able to fire the people they needed to fire that no longer really help the company go in the right direction that Sony wants them to go. Because after all, Sony is very much a Japanese company, and whatever intellectual properties that they obtain through Crunchyroll, they're going to try to be as faithful as they can, and they're going to want people to work with them that are, genuinely concerned that for the well-being of the intellectual property that they're purchasing or licensing, in order for them not to step on anybody's toes, because just proper business etiquette, and holding up their.
But Japanese etiquette is on another level,
right? Whether it be wrong or right, what they want to do is
correct, yes,
to do the correct thing, because after all, a lot of these companies or production companies are Japanese companies, so they kind of know what they're getting themselves into when they're dealing with other Japanese companies, right? So
true.
Even though it's becoming a monopoly on our side of the world, it's business as usual for them to a certain extent, and they're gonna fire and hire whoever they need to get the job done right, at least in their eyes, right?
We talked about the monopoly side with on previous episodes, and we didn't think of it as a business, not money wise, but like in a cultural way for Japanese companies. But now that you're explaining it with that perspective, it makes a lot of sense, Alan.
Right.
So today I learned.
Yeah. Well,
Me too.
And again, I am not the end all be all of the source. These are just
it's our thoughts. Oh, this is like the good point for the disclaimer, Hold up, I got you.
Yeah, but more than disclaimer, this is just off of the information I've been also gathering from other people that are online, like on YouTube, that talk about this because they actually research it, and go to the actual sources on Twitter and stuff like that. So what it seems to be like, that right now, this is one of the big issues in and around the anime and manga community, because it's like, if we can't rely on faithful translations because the voice actors or actresses want to push a certain agenda, then it stands to reason, then why do we need those particular voice actors or actresses when we can get ones that will actually stick to the script and read the actual translation and not try to.
It hits them in their wallet.
Right. Because they want to be some sort of justice warrior in their eyes or their heads, and it makes no sense for them to do it, because it's not. First of all, it's not their IP. It's not their art that they're doing. It's just basically their voice acting, and not to say that they're not needed or not wanted, but the people of the community would like is for faithful translations to be read, not whatever you feel like saying and trying to push that agenda towards the people that are listening.
Want to hear another like previous before the pandemic example, Jake?
Yeah, sure.
There was a series called two of them, but one called something connoisseur, interspecies reviewer, and in Japanese, and people that were listening to the watching the subtitle of it, they were loving the show. They're like, I can't wait, and online they were saying, I can't wait until it gets dubbed over to English. Well, then you heard Funimation purchase the rights to purchase it on the West, in the US at least, and people were excited, and then eventually over time they announced that they're not going to dub it, but they're going to buy the license for nobody else to dub it.
Oh, okay. So basically, they're not going to dub it, but they're going to allow it and make sure that nobody else can dub it.
Correct.
Is that okay?
And then there was another one called Peter Grill. I don't know the full name, but the series is like something sorcerer Peter Grill or something like that. Again, Japanese and all those things. It's popular series online.
Right.
And then at least season 1 got purchased by Crunchyroll, and again, no dubbing. I don't know no English version of it. I don't know what pressures happened in politics, whatever, but another company called High Dive was able to purchase season 2, which they were able to translate to English. But then there's like, where's season 1? Where's season 1? And because of politics, maybe you'll never hear an English version of the first season of the first 12 episodes, and you'll only hear the 12 episodes of season 2 in English, because that one's the only one that the license was beat out by that company. So that's some little nuances on TV shows that anime, if you will, that I can understand now. I can connect the dots now with our personal experiences of watching TV shows like this. That there's a lot of more back end drama, politics,
right,
that ruin the original content just because of the potential voice actors having their own agenda, point of view of the original content. But may that as be, they signed a contract, they have to fulfill the services, but the company backed up Crunchyroll and Funimation back in the day, backed up there, and many of the directors were also, or owners of the company were also voice actors for Funimation. At least they were also voice actors, so it was a closed knit thing in Funimation for them to control the voice, who the voices are, the talent, and them being on the board of the company, controlling what's going to be dubbed, what's not going to be dubbed, who are the directors. So now a lot of things are making more sense, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anything else, Alan?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's basically what I wanted to share. I know I probably diverged from the original question, but yeah, that's pretty much it right now. From
it was good. Yeah. No. Yeah. Thanks for going into more detail.
Yeah.
And this is
anytime,
without watching the anime.
Anytime.
And you could always follow him on his social media postings. That Alan does a lot of them in Instagram. I heard I noticed you said you have Instagram. Is it okay if we share your Instagram with the world, Jake?
Oh yeah, sure. Yes. So
if
mine
anything,
is.
You
what
can
was
text
that?
me later for it, or I'll text it for you later and ask you. Okay?
All right, sounds good. Awesome.
But yeah, that way, well, because like Alan does, he has a passion for not only anime but Japanese culture. An example,
Nice.
he has a lot of for example, the last time that I went to his house, he had, obviously because of his Japan trip, he had a katana, obviously not an actual katana, but it was metal and everything, nice, beautiful, and it is an art piece in my opinion, and it represents another country's culture.
Okay.
Would you like to say anything else about like what else you follow from Japanese culture, Alan?
Food.
Nice
It's an
food. Nice.
I mean, again, I'm no connoisseur of Japanese anything, but I do enjoy like their food. Anime is really good. what's it called?
You keep asking for their sauces.
The
Yeah.
sauces at the fast food joints. But overall, I enjoy a lot of their media, anime form, some of the music, definitely the food. Culturally speaking, I think it's really dope. Again, there's certain things that obviously, like anything else, right? Some things you agree with more than other things, but you take the good with the bad, and obviously I enjoy what I enjoy from their culture, and yeah, again, I'm no connoisseur, but I would like to get to learn a little bit more of the culture. Definitely try to learn how to speak the lingo, or the language. Perhaps not read and write, because that's a whole different situation, a different beast on its own. But at least have conversational Japanese. That would be nice at some point if I'm smart enough, or if I retain the information well enough, probably. But
Okay.
yeah. But other than that, I think both Marcos and Josue also have a very big like of or want as well to enjoy and learn about Japanese culture. But not just that, like
Yes.
me personally, if I can get my hands on food related things on any culture, whether it be like Germany, France, Italy,
We were talking about schnitzels the other time.
right. Definitely, that's my way of getting to know certain cultures a lot better, a lot more deliciously, if you will.
Awesome.
And do you feel like that would make you like less picky to try to try new things? Would make you less picky?
Yeah, definitely. Right.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, definitely. You know, I've even with Italian food. I mean, I know we're completely diverging to a whole new area. Kind of going back to what we were talking about before in the podcast about different foods. You know, I've tried different foods, and the more you try, different foods or really different things in general, you may like them.
Very true. Very true.
Like I
Yep.
would love to go to like Italy or something like that, and have like their
Yeah, me too.
like, and have food over there. Like,
Try the pizza.
well, not just the pizza, but like
Authentic. Yeah.
pasta. Like pasta would be dope.
Pasta on the outside. What's it on the yard? Just eating some pasta.
Like have a really like delicious like cacio e pepe, or having like something delicious like just a simple tomato sauce with pasta over
Right.
it.
I'm just speechless. Tomatoes, you mean? Tomatoes, you say?
Or,
Tomatoes.
like, or
Say tomatoes again.
pesto, or like really tasty pesto.
Damn. Nah. And then maybe would you be willing to hop to France after that? Just to try a baguette,
Yes, a croissant.
a croissant,
A croissant. Yeah.
and then go up maybe more to the Mediterranean, some paella,
Well, with Spanish folks, yes.
and then go to Germany or England, some fish and chips.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Ketchup or no ketchup on the chips?
What? No, you got the salt and vinegar over there.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, I feel like
Over here,
with
though,
the-
yeah. Or Japan, yeah, we're getting ketchup.
well, the lack thereof.
Right.
Gotta ask for that ketchup.
If they
Where's
have
the
it,
sauce?
Yeah, honey mustard,
Right.
honey mustard.
Where's the sauce? That's the find the sauce. Find the sauce in Japan.
Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue. Come on, man.
Oh damn! Now, with the mention of Sweet Baby Ray's, I feel like that will be a nice closer, to this episode of the podcast. Jake,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully, we'll have you for more recordings for other podcasts.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I want to tell listeners, just to give a big shout out to really both of you guys, but Marcos, really, you spent hours with me, testing out my hardware here, and not giving up when I wanted to.
It was fun though.
No, it was, but I really can't thank you enough for taking your time out of your Friday nights or Tuesday afternoon. I think we did one day, for getting me ready with this equipment for the episode today. So you guys are both really cool people. Alan, it was nice to meet you again.
Same. Thank you.
I would love to be on a future episode as well. So, I wish you guys the best of luck in your future episodes. Your past episodes have been great. And, really, thanks again for having me.
And remember, let's do this for 2024. Let's all stay frosty.
Definitely. Thank you again, Jake.
Thank you.